Hello, this is Professor Asmi Parveen from Department of Psychology, Aligarh Muslim University. Today I will talk about ex post facto research. Ex post facto research is also known as retrospective research. It is a type of investigation where researchers aim to understand the causes behind events that have already occurred. The term ex post facto originates from Latin word and it translates to after the fact. This approach was first introduced by psychologist Hugo Munsterberg in 1895. To illustrate this concept, let us consider a scenario where a young individual to illustrate this concept, let us consider a scenario where a person engages in negative behavior. In such cases, an ex post facto researcher would delve into various factors that could have influenced this behavior. These factors may encompass aspects like inadequate discipline at school, family background, peer influence, the environment they reside in, or their upbringing. By examining these potential contributors, researchers hope to gain insights into what might have led to the observed behavior. This retrospective analysis allows them to identify patterns, correlations, and possible causal relationships between different variables. Through this process, researchers can develop a more comprehensive understanding of the factors that shape human behavior. This ex post facto is a term used to describe a type of research study where the effects of a treatment that has already occurred are examined. According to Landman 1988, the term ex post facto refers to an experiment in which a researcher, instead of finding a treatment, examines the effect of a naturally occurring treatment after it has occurred. In other words, it is a study that attempts to discover the pre existing causal conditions between groups. Instead of actively administering the treatment, researchers analyze what caused certain outcomes to happen among different groups. So, it is a type of research study where the effects of a treatment that has already occurred are examined. Instead of actively administering the treatment, researchers analyze what caused certain outcomes to happen among different groups. This approach allows for an investigation into the factors that influenced a particular event or phenomenon. By looking at past events and their consequences, researchers can gain valuable insights into the causes and effects of various treatments or interventions. In order to understand the concept of an ex post facto experiment, let us consider an example. Imagine we are studying how individuals with anxiety and those without anxiety respond to loud noise. It is important to note here that the loud noise itself is not the treatment or independent variable in this case. Instead, it serves as a task that all participants must react to. The way each participant responds to the noise is what we are measuring as our dependent variable. The key aspect of this experiment is grouping individuals based on specific traits of interest to the researcher, such as being anxious or not anxious. This grouping is considered the therapy in this scenario. Ex post facto studies provide a unique perspective on understanding the relationships between variables and their impacts on outcomes. Unlike other research methods, ex post facto research does not involve the ability to manipulate or control the variables being studied. Instead, scientists make predictions and draw conclusions based on observations of past events. This approach is particularly useful when it is not feasible or ethical to alter the circumstances that led to a certain outcome. In ex post facto research, the cause of an event has already taken place and scientists are unable to change it. They examine the existing data and evidence to identify patterns and relationships between different factors. By analyzing these connections, researchers can gain insights into why something happened and how various elements are interrelated. This method allows scientists to study complex phenomena but cannot be replicated or controlled in a laboratory setting. In order to understand cause and effect relationships in ex post facto research, there are few important considerations. Firstly, there must be a clear connection or association between the cause and the effect. This means that if we want to claim that a certain effect is caused by a certain cause, we need to observe a change in the cause that directly leads to the effect. Without this connection, it becomes difficult to establish a causal relationship. Another important aspect is systematic order of events. So, in order to understand the cause and effect relationship between events or processes, it is important to follow a systematic order and consistent sequence. That is, there needs to be a systematic order of events. This means that the cause should logically precede the effect. It would be illogical to argue that something is causing another if it occurs after the effect has already taken place. By ensuring a logical sequence, researchers can better analyze and interpret the cause and effect relationships in their studies. Another consideration is absence of other causes. When studying causal relationships, researchers must carefully analyze each aspect and identify the best possible cause or reason, also known as independent variable, that has ultimately led to the effect, action, or event. For example, when studying cancer, there may be multiple factors contributing to its development. In a research study conducted after the occurrence of the disease, the researcher aims to identify the most likely reason that may have caused the disease to occur in the person or subject. Now I will discuss the characteristics of ex post facto research. This is a unique type of research that sets it apart from other methods, and one key characteristic is the inclusion of a control or comparison group. This group is essential because ex post facto research focuses on studying the cause of an event that has already occurred, and it requires a basis for comparison with the experimental group. Another important characteristic of ex post facto research is that the behavior, action, event, treatment, or independent variable being studied cannot be manipulated or changed. Unlike other types of research where variables can be controlled, in ex post facto research, the researcher aims to predict causes based on actions that have already taken place. Therefore, they cannot alter or modify these past actions or behaviors. Another factor is the research focuses on the effect. This type of research focuses on the effects and causes of an event that has already occurred. The researcher's initial step is to thoroughly analyze and predict the reasons behind the happening before determining its causes. This research primarily focuses on understanding the how and what aspects of the event, aiming to comprehend the causal effects behind it. Furthermore, an ex post facto study also explores potential effects and causes, allowing the researcher to analyze the cause and effect relationship of an event, action, or behavior. Ex post facto studies allow researchers to gain insight into the causes and effects of events or phenomena. Unlike predictive research, which aims to anticipate future outcomes, ex post facto studies focus on analyzing what has already happened. Researchers understand the details of the event or phenomena in question, seeking to understand the reasons behind it. This type of research is particularly useful for exploring how and why something occurred, as well as investigating potential consequences and underlying factors. By employing ex post facto research, scholars can enhance their understanding of the cause and effect relationships between various events, actions, or behaviors. Now, I will discuss the steps of ex post facto research. This research is a systematic process that involves several steps. The first step is for the researcher to identify and analyze the problem they want to study. This requires a clear understanding of what the problem entails and what aspects of it will be examined. Before making any predictions or drawing conclusions, it is crucial for the researcher to review existing literature and relevant studies. This step allows them to gain insights into the relationship between the variables they are studying. By analyzing previous research, the researcher can better understand the context and potential outcomes of their own study. After that, researchers must select two groups from the population that differ in terms of the variable they are studying. It is important to choose these groups in a fair and proportional way to ensure accurate results. Third step is the formulation of hypothesis. After gathering the necessary information, the researcher moves on to the third step, that is, coming up with a guess or hypothesis. This involves brainstorming possible solutions or alternatives that might have caused the observed effect. It is important for the researchers to write down their assumptions and outline how they plan to conduct further research to test their guess. The fourth step in this process is planning the approach. Once the problem has been defined and the guess has been made, the researchers need to determine the group of people they will study. They also need to choose the appropriate tools or methods for collecting the information or data needed. This could involve conducting experiments, administering surveys, or analyzing existing data sets. It is crucial for the researcher to carefully analyze the relationship between the different variables being studied. Next, the researcher must consider the validity of the research. They need to assess how trustworthy and useful their findings are in understanding the topic. This involves critically evaluating the methods used, the quality of the data collected, and the reliability of the results. By doing so, researchers can determine the extent to which their findings can be trusted and applied to real world situations. Finally, the researcher needs to carefully analyze and understand the conclusion they have reached. This involves assessing the information gathered and considering the most likely reasons that caused the observed effect to occur. By thoroughly examining the data and considering alternative explanations, the researchers can gain a deeper understanding of the phenomenon under investigation. Depending on the conclusions, researchers can either accept or reject the hypothesis they initially proposed. Now, I will discuss the advantages and strength of this method. This type of research is particularly valuable in behavioral studies when variables cannot be changed or manipulated. It allows researchers to study social and educational factors such as delinquency and achievements. Unlike experimental research, ex post facto studies enable us to analyze a cause based on its effect. This saves both time and money, making it a practical choice for many researchers. By conducting an ex post facto study, researchers are able to analyze things from their own perspective and draw the best possible conclusion. This approach allows for a thorough examination of various factors and their impact on the desired outcome. It provides a unique opportunity to understand the relationship between different variables without the need for direct manipulation. One of the key strengths of this type of research is its ability to study behavioral patterns and outcomes that cannot be ethically or practically manipulated. For example, studying the effects of certain social or educational factors on delinquency would be impossible to conduct through experimental research, such as it would be unethical to assign individuals to smoking or non smoking groups and observe the long term health effects. However, by analyzing existing data from individuals who have already made these choices, researchers can still draw meaningful conclusions about the relationship between smoking and health outcomes. Ex post facto studies fill this gap by allowing researchers to observe and analyze real life situations and their consequences. Furthermore, ex post facto studies offer a valuable alternative to experimental research by providing a means to analyze causes based on their effects. This allows researchers to have insights into the underlying mechanism and relationships between variables. By examining the effects first, researchers can then work backward to identify potential causes, leading to a more comprehensive understanding of the phenomenon under investigation. Ex post facto research, while valuable in certain contexts, does have their limitations and drawbacks. One significant limitation is the inability for researchers to change or manipulate the independent variables in this type of study. Unlike other research methods where variables can be controlled and manipulated, ex post facto research relies on pre existing conditions and data. This lack of control over the variables can make it difficult to establish cause and effect relationships between the independent and the dependent variables. Another challenge with ex post facto research is the inability to randomly assign subjects to different groups. In experimental studies, random assignment helps to ensure that any differences observed between groups are due to the manipulation of the independent variable rather than other factors. However, in ex post facto research, subjects are already grouped based on their exposure to a particular condition or event, making it challenging to determine the causality. Furthermore, researchers conducting ex post facto research may require assistance in explaining the connection between the independent and the dependent variables being studied. Since the variables are not directly manipulated, it can be more complex to establish a clear cause and effect relationship. Researchers must carefully analyze the available data and consider alternative explanations for the observed outcomes. Despite these limitations, ex post facto research still offers valuable insights in certain situations. This is all about ex post facto research. Thank you.